Chapter 1: The Shattered Illusions. Kofi's chest heaved with each breath as he continued along the winding path, the air around him heavy with an eerie chill. The fog that had once seemed like a harmless mist had thickened into a dense, oppressive shroud that pressed him from all sides. The darkness was a tangible presence, suffocating and relentless, making every step forward feel like a battle against an invisible force. Kofi's heart pounded as he navigated through the treacherous terrain, each movement slow and deliberate. The landscape had changed dramatically since his confrontation with the monstrous spirit. The vibrant colors and shifting scenery had given way to a monochromatic expanse of grays and blacks. The ground beneath him was no longer solid but seemed to pulse with a strange, unsettling energy. The distant glow of the egg of power was barely visible through the encroaching gloom, a faint beacon of hope amidst the pervasive darkness. As Kofi pressed on, he felt a profound sense of isolation. The only sounds were the faint, dissonant whispers that seemed to come from all directions, mingling with the occasional distant echo of his footsteps. The whispers were unsettling, their meaning elusive but their presence undeniably unnerving. They seemed to carry with them a sense of foreboding, a reminder that the spirit realm was a place of constant challenge and deception. The path grew increasingly difficult. The ground became uneven, and jagged rocks jutted out at odd angles, creating obstacles that Kofi had to carefully navigate. The fog seemed to shift and move of its own accord, occasionally swirling around him in unpredictable patterns. The atmosphere was charged with an almost palpable energy, making the air crackle with a strange, electric tension. As Kofi continued his journey, he found himself in a narrow gorge flanked by towering rock walls. The walls seemed to close in on him, creating a claustrophobic feeling that made the already oppressive darkness feel even more suffocating. The fog here was especially thick, obscuring his vision and making it nearly impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. The wraith-like presence of the fog seemed to pulse with a dark, malevolent energy. From within the depths of the fog, a haunting, mournful wail emerged. It was a sound unlike anything Kofi had heard before, ethereal and ghostly, yet filled with a sense of deep sorrow. The wail grew louder, reverberating through the gorge, and Kofi felt a chill run down his spine. He knew that this was a sign that another formidable spirit was near. Emerging from the fog, the wraith-like spirit took shape. Its form was elusive, a shifting, shadowy figure that seemed to dissolve into the fog and reappear in different locations. The wraith's eyes were hollow voids, and its presence exuded a palpable sense of dread. It moved with an eerie, gliding motion, as if it were a mere extension of the fog itself. The wraith's voice, though faint, cut through the fog with an unsettling clarity. "You have proven yourself in battle, Kofi," the wraith intoned, its voice echoing with an otherworldly resonance. "But now you face the true test. Do you have the strength to confront the darkness within yourself? The egg of power is not merely a prize, it is a reflection of your own soul. Only by overcoming the deepest fears that haunt you can you hope to claim it." Kofi felt a surge of anxiety as the wraith's words echoed in his mind. The fog grew even thicker, and the shadows around him began to coalesce into distinct forms. These were not mere illusions but tangible manifestations of his deepest fears and insecurities. The shadows took on the shapes of people from his past, figures who had once been sources of comfort and support but now appeared as twisted, menacing versions of themselves. He saw distorted, nightmarish versions of his village. The familiar homes and streets were now grotesque parodies, their structures warped and decayed. The villagers, who had once shunned him, now stood in judgment. Their faces were contorted into sneers, their eyes glowing with a malevolent light. They spoke with voices that echoed his own self-doubt, taunting him with every failure and mistake he had ever made. The vision was overwhelming. Each face, each voice, seemed to carry the weight of Kofi's regrets and fears. He felt a surge of anger and despair as the accusations piled up. "You are a failure," one of the figures sneered. "You will never be enough," another voice echoed. Despite the crushing weight of the vision, Kofi knew he had to stay focused. He closed his eyes, taking deep breaths to steady himself. The faces of his loved ones, the warmth of his mother's smile, the stern but supportive gaze of his father, the encouragement of his friends, flashed in his mind. These memories were his anchor, the source of his inner strength. When Kofi opened his eyes again, he felt a renewed sense of purpose. He refused to be swayed by the illusions of fear and doubt that sought to derail him. With a determined expression, he turned his attention back to the wraith, ready to face the challenge head-on. The wraith extended a skeletal hand, and the shadows around Kofi grew darker, more oppressive. The fog seemed to become a living entity, wrapping around him like a suffocating embrace. Shadows emerged from the fog, each one a living embodiment of Kofi's deepest anxieties. They clawed at him, their forms shifting and blending with the darkness. Kofi fought valiantly, using every ounce of his strength and willpower to combat the encroaching darkness. Each shadowy figure that emerged from the fog was a reflection of a specific fear or doubt. He battled through visions of failure, loss, and despair, each encounter a test of his resolve. In one particularly harrowing vision, Kofi found himself reliving a moment of profound failure. He was back in the village, standing before a crowd that had once praised him but now jeered and mocked him. Their voices were a cacophony of condemnation, their faces twisted into sneers. Kofi could feel the weight of their judgment, a crushing force that threatened to pull him under. But even as the weight of the vision bore down on him, Kofi refused to succumb. He remembered the lessons he had learned throughout his journey, the importance of resilience, the value of self-belief, and the strength drawn from his loved ones. With a determined roar, he pushed back against the vision, shattering the illusions with a surge of inner strength. The fog began to dissipate, the shadows retreating in the face of Kofi's unwavering resolve. The wraith, now weakened and flickering, let out a mournful wail. Its form became increasingly insubstantial until it dissolved into the mist, leaving Kofi standing alone in the now-clear gorge. As the fog cleared, Kofi found himself in a wide, open space. The ground was covered in a shimmering, translucent material that sparkled like stardust. The path ahead was illuminated by a faint, otherworldly glow, the egg of power. The light was mesmerizing, a beacon of hope and promise that seemed to draw him closer with each step. Kofi approached the egg, feeling a mixture of awe and trepidation. The energy of the realm seemed to intensify as he drew nearer, the light from the egg pulsing with a rhythmic energy that resonated with a deep, primal force. He extended his hand, feeling a profound sense of accomplishment and anticipation. Just as his fingers brushed against the surface of the egg, the realm began to shift once more. The bright, radiant light of the egg grew even more intense, and Kofi found himself standing in a new, unfamiliar landscape. The spirit realm had transformed into a serene and tranquil environment, filled with lush greenery and vibrant colors. The oppressive weight of the previous trials lifted, replaced by a sense of peace and fulfillment. The new landscape was a stark contrast to the dark and treacherous terrain Kofi had navigated. The ground was covered in soft, emerald grass that seemed to glow with an inner light. Tall, ancient trees with shimmering leaves swayed gently in the breeze, their branches forming a protective canopy overhead. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the sound of a gentle, bubbling brook provided a soothing backdrop. Kofi took a moment to catch his breath and reflect on the journey that had brought him here. He had faced numerous challenges, battled formidable spirits, and confronted his deepest fears. The egg of power was within his grasp, and he felt a deep sense of accomplishment. But he knew that his journey was far from over. As he stood before the egg, he could feel its power resonating with his own. The egg was not just a physical object but a symbol of his inner strength and resilience. It was a reflection of the trials he had endured and the growth he had achieved. The realm around him seemed to shift once more, and Kofi found himself in a grand, ancient hall. The hall was adorned with intricate carvings and glowing symbols that pulsed with a soft, golden light. The walls were lined with shelves containing ancient scrolls and artifacts, each one a testament to the rich history and power of the spirit realm. At the far end of the hall stood a grand, ornate throne. On the throne sat a figure of great majesty and authority, a spirit of immense power and wisdom. The figure was adorned with elaborate robes and a crown that seemed to shimmer with the light of the realm itself. The spirit's eyes were filled with a profound, knowing gaze that seemed to see into the depths of Kofi's soul. "Welcome, Kofi," the spirit said, its voice resonating with an authoritative yet compassionate tone. "You have proven yourself worthy of the egg of power. You have faced the darkness within yourself and emerged victorious. But remember, the power you now hold comes with great responsibility." Kofi approached the throne, his heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "I am ready to fulfill my destiny," he said, his voice steady and determined. "I have faced my fears and overcome the trials set before me. I am prepared to use the power of the egg wisely." The spirit nodded, a gesture of approval. The egg of power holds the key to both creation and destruction. It is a force of immense potential, and its power must be wielded with great care. Your journey is not yet complete. There are still challenges ahead, and you must remain vigilant. The spirit extended a hand, and the egg of power floated gently towards Kofi. As he took hold of it, he could feel its energy coursing through him, a powerful and exhilarating sensation. The egg's light seemed to merge with his own, creating a harmonious glow that enveloped him in a warm, comforting embrace. "You are now the guardian of the egg," the spirit said. "Use its power to bring balance and harmony to the world. Protect it from those who would seek to exploit its power for their own gain. Your journey will lead you to new challenges and trials, but remember that you are not alone. The strength you have gained will guide you." With those words, the grand hall began to fade, and Kofi found himself back in the lush, vibrant landscape. The serene beauty of the realm was a stark contrast to the darkness and treachery he had faced. The journey had been long and arduous, but the egg of power was now his. As Kofi took his first steps toward his new destiny, he felt a profound sense of purpose and resolve. The trials he had endured had tested his strength and character, but they had also forged him into a stronger, more resilient individual. The path ahead was uncertain, but with the egg of power in his grasp, he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 2: The Guardians of the Egg. Kofi's journey had led him to a place of newfound strength and purpose, but the path ahead was fraught with uncertainty. As he continued through the vibrant landscape, he could feel the weight of his new responsibilities bearing down on him. The egg of power was a force of immense potential, and Kofi knew that he had to use its power wisely. The realm around him seemed to shift and change, the lush greenery giving way to a series of winding paths and ancient ruins. The air was filled with the sounds of nature, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the distant roar of a waterfall. The tranquility of the landscape was a welcome respite from the trials he had faced, but Kofi remained vigilant. He came upon a clearing where the ground was covered in a soft, mossy carpet. In the center of the clearing stood a group of towering stone pillars, each one etched with intricate carvings and glowing symbols. The pillars formed a circular pattern, and at the center of the circle was a large, ornate pedestal. On the pedestal rested a second, smaller artifact, a staff adorned with gemstones and ancient inscriptions. The staff seemed to pulse with a gentle, rhythmic energy, and Kofi could sense that it was connected to the egg of power. As Kofi approached the staff, he felt a shift in the energy of the realm. The air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding settled over the clearing. From the shadows emerged a group of spirits, each one a guardian of the staff. The guardians were imposing figures, their forms a blend of ethereal beauty and otherworldly power. The lead guardian, a majestic figure with flowing robes and a crown of light, stepped forward. "Welcome, Kofi," the guardian said, its voice resonating with authority and grace. "You have proven yourself worthy of the egg of power, but to fulfill your destiny, you must also earn the right to wield the staff of the ancients. This staff is the key to unlocking the true potential of the egg. Kofi nodded, his resolve unwavering. I am ready to prove my worth. I will face any challenge that stands in my way. The lead guardian's eyes glowed with a warm, approving light. Very well. To earn the staff, you must pass the trials set before you. These trials will test your strength, wisdom, and resolve. Only by demonstrating your true worth can you claim the staff and harness the full power of the egg. The first trial was a test of strength. Kofi was led to a vast arena where the ground was covered in shifting sands. At the center of the arena stood a colossal, stone golem, its eyes glowing with a fierce, fiery light. The golem's form was imposing, and it moved with a slow, deliberate grace, each step causing the ground to tremble. Kofi faced the golem with determination. He drew on the strength he had gained from his previous trials, channeling it into every strike and maneuver. The battle was fierce and grueling, but Kofi's resolve never wavered. With each powerful blow, he chipped away at the golem's defenses, until finally, with a decisive strike, he shattered the creature into a shower of stone fragments. Exhausted but victorious, Kofi stood amidst the debris, his chest heaving with exertion. The lead guardian appeared before him, its eyes glowing with approval. You have passed the first trial. Your strength is formidable. Now, you must prove your wisdom. The second trial took place in a labyrinthine chamber filled with ancient tomes and scrolls. The chamber was a maze of towering bookshelves and winding passages, and Kofi had to navigate through it to find a hidden scroll containing a crucial piece of knowledge. The scroll was said to hold the key to understanding the true nature of the staff and the egg of power. As Kofi delved deeper into the maze, he encountered various puzzles and riddles, each one designed to test his intellect and insight. The challenges were intricate and demanding, requiring both keen observation and analytical thinking. Kofi worked tirelessly, deciphering the clues and solving the puzzles until he finally uncovered the hidden scroll. With the scroll in hand, Kofi emerged from the maze, the lead guardian waiting for him with a look of approval. You have demonstrated great wisdom and perseverance. The final trial will test your resolve and inner strength. The third and final trial was the most challenging of all. Kofi was taken to a serene, yet hauntingly beautiful grove, where the air was filled with the fragrance of blooming flowers. In the center of the grove stood a massive, ancient tree with gnarled branches and a thick trunk. The tree's roots spread out like an intricate web, and its leaves shimmered with a soft, golden light. The lead guardian explained that the grove was a place of reflection and introspection. Kofi had to confront his deepest fears and regrets, facing the shadows of his past and reconciling with them. The task was not one of physical strength but of emotional resilience and inner fortitude. As Kofi approached the tree, he was engulfed in a series of vivid, haunting visions. He relived moments of pain, loss, and regret, each one a manifestation of his deepest fears and insecurities. The visions were intense and emotionally charged, threatening to overwhelm him. But Kofi faced each vision with unwavering courage. He confronted his fears, acknowledged his regrets, and found the strength to move beyond them. The process was deeply cathartic, allowing him to release the burdens of his past and embrace his true self. When the final vision faded, Kofi stood before the ancient tree, feeling a profound sense of peace and clarity. The lead guardian appeared once more, its eyes filled with a deep, knowing gaze. You have passed all 3 trials, the guardian said. Your strength, wisdom, and resolve have proven you worthy of the staff of the ancients. Take it, and let its power guide you in your journey. The staff floated gently towards Kofi, its gemstones shimmering with a vibrant light. As he took hold of it, he could feel its power resonating with his own. The staff was a symbol of his growth and achievement, a tool that would help him harness the full potential of the egg of power. With the staff in hand, Kofi felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He was now equipped with the tools he needed to fulfill his destiny and face the challenges that lay ahead. The trials had tested him in every way, but they had also forged him into a stronger, more capable individual. As he continued his journey, Kofi was filled with a sense of anticipation and excitement. The realm around him was filled with new possibilities, and he was ready to explore them. The Egg of Power and the Staff were powerful allies, and he was determined to use their combined strength to bring balance and harmony to the world. Chapter 3: The Trials of Leadership. Kofi's journey had taken him through trials of strength, wisdom, and resolve, but the path ahead was still fraught with uncertainty. With the Egg of Power and the Staff of the Ancients in his possession, he was now a guardian of immense potential. But with great power came great responsibility, and Kofi knew that he had to use his new abilities wisely. The realm continued to shift and change as Kofi made his way through the vibrant landscape. He encountered various challenges and obstacles, each one designed to test his skills and character. The Egg of Power and the Staff provided him with the tools he needed, but it was up to him to navigate the trials that lay ahead. The first trial of leadership took place in a grand, open amphitheater. The amphitheater was an impressive structure, with towering stone columns and an expansive stage. The seats were filled with spectral figures, each one representing the spirits of past leaders and guardians. They were here to observe and judge Kofi's performance. At the center of the stage stood a large, ornate pedestal, upon which rested a glowing orb. The orb was a symbol of leadership and authority, and Kofi had to demonstrate his ability to wield it effectively. To do so, he had to address the spectral figures and earn their approval. Kofi took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The spectral figures watched him with intense, scrutinizing gazes. He could feel the weight of their judgment, and the pressure to perform was palpable. But Kofi was determined to rise to the occasion. He began his address, speaking with confidence and clarity. He spoke of his journey, the trials he had faced, and the lessons he had learned. He emphasized the importance of leadership, unity, and compassion. His words were heartfelt and sincere, and he spoke from a place of deep understanding. As he spoke, the orb began to glow with a warm, golden light. The spectral figures responded with nods of approval and expressions of admiration. Kofi's words had resonated with them, and he could feel their support and encouragement. The trial was not just about delivering a speech but about demonstrating true leadership qualities. Kofi had to show that he understood the responsibilities of leadership and that he was capable of guiding and inspiring others. His performance was a testament to his growth and development as a leader. With the trial complete, Kofi was filled with a sense of accomplishment. The spectral figures applauded him, their applause echoing through the amphitheater. The orb floated gently towards him, and he took hold of it, feeling its power and energy. The next trial took Kofi to a vast, sprawling cityscape. The city was a bustling metropolis, filled with towering skyscrapers and bustling streets. The air was filled with the sounds of traffic and the hum of activity. The city was a symbol of progress and innovation, and Kofi had to navigate its complexities and challenges. The trial required Kofi to solve a series of complex problems and make critical decisions. He had to address issues related to governance, infrastructure, and social welfare. The challenges were multifaceted and required a deep understanding of both the practical and ethical aspects of leadership. Kofi worked tirelessly to address the problems facing the city. He consulted with advisors, analyzed data, and made informed decisions. His actions had a direct impact on the city's development and well-being. The trial was a test of his ability to manage and lead effectively in a dynamic and complex environment. As Kofi tackled each problem, he gained valuable insights into the nature of leadership and the importance of balancing various interests and needs. He learned that effective leadership required not only strength and wisdom but also empathy and adaptability. With the trial complete, Kofi felt a deep sense of satisfaction. He had successfully navigated the complexities of the city and demonstrated his ability to lead with integrity and vision. The experience had further strengthened his leadership skills and deepened his understanding of the responsibilities that came with his new role. The final trial took place in a serene, secluded glade. The glade was a place of tranquility and reflection, and it was here that Kofi had to confront the ultimate test of his leadership abilities. The trial required him to make a difficult decision that would have far-reaching consequences. In the glade, Kofi encountered a group of beings, each one representing different aspects of the realm. They were facing a conflict that threatened to divide them. The beings were seeking guidance and leadership, and Kofi had to find a solution that would bring harmony and unity. The decision Kofi had to make was complex and challenging. He had to weigh the needs and desires of each group, considering the broader implications of his choice. The trial tested his ability to balance competing interests and find a solution that was fair and just. Kofi deliberated carefully, consulting with the beings and seeking their input. He listened to their concerns and worked to understand their perspectives. After careful consideration, he made a decision that he believed would bring about the greatest benefit for all. The result was a resolution that addressed the concerns of each group and fostered a sense of unity and cooperation. The beings expressed their gratitude and approval, and Kofi felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The trial had tested his leadership abilities to the fullest, and he had emerged victorious. As Kofi completed the final trial, he felt a deep sense of pride and accomplishment. He had demonstrated his leadership skills and proven his ability to guide and inspire others. The experiences and lessons he had gained throughout the trials had prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. With the trials complete, Kofi continued his journey with a renewed sense of purpose and determination. He knew that his role as a guardian and leader came with great responsibility, and he was ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that awaited him. The egg of power and the staff of the ancients were powerful tools, and he was committed to using them wisely and with integrity. As he moved forward, Kofi felt a sense of anticipation and excitement. The realm was filled with new possibilities, and he was ready to explore them. The trials had shaped him into a stronger, more capable individual, and he was prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 4: The Legacy of the Guardians. Kofi's journey had taken him through a series of trials and challenges, each one designed to test his strength, wisdom, and resolve. With the egg of power and the staff of the ancients in his possession, he was now a guardian of immense potential. But his role was not just about wielding power, it was also about carrying on the legacy of those who had come before him. The realm around Kofi was a tapestry of vibrant landscapes and ancient mysteries. As he continued his journey, he encountered remnants of the past, ancient ruins, forgotten temples, and hidden artifacts. Each discovery provided valuable insights into the history and legacy of the guardians who had come before him. One of Kofi's first encounters was with an ancient, crumbling temple hidden deep within a dense jungle. The temple was adorned with intricate carvings and glowing symbols, and its interior was filled with the echoes of long-forgotten rituals. The air was heavy with the weight of history, and Kofi felt a deep sense of reverence as he explored the temple. Within the temple, Kofi discovered a series of ancient scrolls and inscriptions that detailed the history and teachings of the guardians. The scrolls contained valuable knowledge about the use of the egg of power, the staff of the ancients, and the principles of leadership and responsibility. As Kofi delved into the scrolls, he learned about the trials and challenges that previous guardians had faced. He discovered that each guardian had left behind a legacy, a set of principles and teachings that had guided their actions and decisions. The knowledge he gained provided valuable insights into his own role as a guardian and the responsibilities that came with it. The temple also contained a series of ancient murals that depicted the history of the guardians. The murals portrayed scenes of triumph and struggle, depicting the guardians' efforts to maintain balance and harmony in the realm. Kofi studied the murals carefully, gaining a deeper understanding of the challenges and sacrifices that had shaped the legacy of the Guardians. With this newfound knowledge, Kofi felt a profound sense of connection to the Guardians who had come before him. He realized that his role was not just about wielding power but about carrying on the legacy of those who had dedicated their lives to protecting the realm and upholding the principles of justice and harmony. Kofi's journey continued as he explored other remnants of the past. He encountered ancient artifacts and hidden temples, each one providing valuable insights into the history and legacy of the Guardians. The discoveries he made enriched his understanding of his role and the responsibilities that came with it. One of Kofi's most significant discoveries was a hidden chamber deep within a mountain range. The chamber was filled with ancient relics and powerful artifacts, each one a testament to the Guardians' efforts to maintain balance and harmony in the realm. At the center of the chamber was a grand, ornate pedestal, upon which rested a glowing crystal. The crystal was a symbol of the Guardians' unity and strength. It radiated a powerful energy that resonated with Kofi's own. As he approached the crystal, he felt a deep sense of connection to the Guardians who had come before him. The crystal seemed to hold the essence of their wisdom and strength, and Kofi knew that it was a powerful symbol of the legacy he was now a part of. As Kofi continued his journey, he encountered other beings and entities who sought his guidance and support. He used the knowledge and wisdom he had gained from the trials and the legacy of the Guardians to provide counsel and assistance. His role as a Guardian was not just about wielding power but about serving others and upholding the principles of justice and harmony. The realm was a place of constant change and challenge, and Kofi's journey was far from over. But with the egg of power and the staff of the ancients in his possession, he was prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The legacy of the Guardians was a source of strength and inspiration, guiding him as he continued his journey. Kofi knew that his role as a Guardian came with great responsibility. He was committed to using his powers wisely and with integrity, and he was dedicated to carrying on the legacy of those who had come before him. The realm was a place of immense potential and opportunity, and he was ready to embrace the challenges and possibilities that awaited him. As he moved forward, Kofi felt a deep sense of purpose and determination. The trials and challenges he had faced had shaped him into a stronger, more capable individual. The legacy of the Guardians was a guiding light, and he was committed to honoring it as he continued his journey. The realm was filled with new possibilities and adventures, and Kofi was ready to explore them. With the egg of power and the staff of the ancients by his side, he was prepared to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The legacy of the Guardians was a powerful source of strength and inspiration, and Kofi was determined to carry it forward as he embraced his role as a Guardian of the realm.